It's the last Tuesday of the month of October in the year 2025. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning News. This, of course, is the first bulletin of the day. It's coming to you live from the news app here at Adisawe Kande. We're live on Facebook. It's TV3 Ghana, and on DSTV is channel 279. My name is Josh Queen. Top of the stories is Government prohibits ministers of state from publicly announcing major policy initiatives or programs without securing prior cabinet approval. Minority Chief Whip requests for updates on the investigation of the 8 Ghanaians who died in the helicopter crash. Also coming up this morning, Education Minister Haruna Idrisu says the stance firm on his policy direction for teachers to use the mother tongue as a medium of instruction in early grade classrooms. Well, we have details of these stories and many more coming up in the next 20 minutes. If you spend your time with me, you can also get interactive with us. We are live on Facebook. It's TV3 Ghana. Let's begin from here. And a 5-year-old boy and 2 other members of a household have been killed after unidentified gunmen attacked their residence in Bunduri on Sunday, October 26, 2025. 2 other occupants of the house, including a radio station manager, sustained gunshot wounds in the night attack and are receiving treatment at a nearby hospital. In a separate incident, a male teacher traveling from the Atuba market was gunned down by an unidentified assailant, while a woman in Binduri was shot dead shortly after stepping outside to attend to nature's call. On Saturday, residents of Tempani were thrown into shock when a farmer was found dead in his compound with his throat slit. And meanwhile, private residence of the Member of Parliament for Bunduri, Yusuf Mohammed, has been set ablaze by unknown persons. The house located in his hometown of Anisi in the Binduri district was completely destroyed by fire. Police and military teams have since been deployed to the area to restore calm while investigations continue into the wave of attacks across the eastern corridor of the Upper East region. Quite a sad development there, but our correspondents, of course, will be monitoring every happening and surely update us in our subsequent bulletins. And our cybersecurity experts have cautioned government against passing the new cybersecurity bill in its current form, warning it could stifle speech and expose people to security dangers. Fears arrived that people and media houses could be targeted when officials are granted such wild powers as contained in the draft law. A former Minister of Information, Kojo Opono Nkrumah, in a media engagement demanded that government backtracks from this very legislation.
Ghana is racing to fortify its cyber defenses by amending its old cybersecurity laws, but a draft bill circulating on social media has raised eyebrows. Provisions of the draft bill allowing warrantless inspections, asset freezes without immediate judicial review, and possible suppressed speech have left many in fear.
The government is now seeking through this draft that it wants to consult on to enact legislation that will now even ensure that when you put up a comment in your chat groups and they find it offensive according to their criteria, you could go to jail. And I think it's a very dangerous, encroachment into the area of free speech. The government needs to tread cautiously.
This is what President Mahama recently said, which many believe has resulted in this new bill.
We have what we call hate speech, incitement to violence. Those are criminal. If we don't regulate that sector, it can lead this nation to war. So I'm sending a signal to Ghanaians that we can find you those doing those hate speech and things. We'll use your IP number, we'll trace you. And when we trace you, we'll deal with you under the criminal code for inciting violence and disturbance of the peace. But I believe that beyond that, we must start making regulation for this new media because it's unregulated.
Cybersecurity experts believe this draft bill cannot pass in its current state.
I don't think that we should develop a stage or a particular, action that will evolve us moving into people's offices, carrying weapons and all of that, only just to amount to nothing. Before any arrest is made, right? It means that more investigations has already been done, and that is where the mandate of the cybersecurity office should actually be.
He agrees with the former information minister that some of the provisions of the draft law are dangerous.
If you are not careful and this bill ends up being passed, then it means that a whole wrong could actually happen where media houses can be targeted, companies can be targeted, private individuals and citizens can also be targeted. In the bill, I also did not see anything that speaks to instance where the individuals and companies could also sue when the cybersecurity authority goes overboard.
The communications minister has attempted to provide explanations to concerns raised across social media, but for many concerned Ghanaians, government must simply backtrack from this legislation.
And our government has issued a sharp reminder to all ministers of state, prohibiting them from publicly announcing any major policy initiatives or programs without securing prior cabinet approval. The directive issued on Monday by the Secretary to Cabinet, Professor Kweku Danso-Boafo, stresses that non-compliance violates constitutional protocols and the fundamental principle of collective government responsibility. The circular dated 27th October 2025 noted a growing practice where some ministers bypass the established governance protocols to announce initiatives purportedly on behalf of the government before they have been duly discussed, reviewed or approved by the cabinet. To ensure strict adherence, ministers have been mandated to submit all proposed policies, programs or legislative initiatives to the Cabinet Secretariat for formal inclusion on the cabinet agenda. According to the circular, this aims to safeguard policy coherence, uphold collective cabinet responsibility. It also warns that without approval, any announced policy will not be considered a representation of government position. And away from the presidency, Education Minister Haruna Idrisu is standing firm on his policy direction for teachers to use the mother tongue as a medium of instruction in early grade classrooms. According to the minister, research has shown that children learn better when taught in a language they understand, especially at the foundational stage of education. Take a listen.
Elsewhere in the world, you can provoke debate on public policy in order to guide implementing, fine-tuning the policy. My understanding is that I made some comment and gave a directive. I stand wholly and absolutely behind the directive.
The minister also defended the Ghana Education Service's renewed enforcement of discipline in schools. He emphasized that rules on hairstyles, dress codes, and general conduct are essential to instilling discipline and respect among students. He made these remarks when he paid a courtesy call on the management of the National Council for Curriculum and Assessment, NACCA, and the Complementary Education Agency in Accra.
The Ghana Education Service must uphold the learning environment and the learning instruction as being important to understanding and improving foundational learning. As much as we all agree that we should go beyond literacy and numeracy texts, we are molding character and behavior. And I understand that my directive to the effect that teaching in Ghanaian language, maybe for purpose of clarity, I meant from kindergarten up to grade 6. The language of instruction should be local Ghanaian language.
In this regard, the Ghana Education Service has been directed to ensure, this very directive is enforced across all business schools in the country. Let's know what you make of this very directive. We are active on Facebook as TV3 Ghana. Hopefully, Your comments shared with us will be read to the rest of the world. And a member of parliament for Tolon, Habib Idrisu, has written to the president requesting urgent update or report on the August 6th helicopter crash that killed the Defense and Environment ministers and 6 other national heroes. According to the First Deputy Minority Whip, the president must release a partial or interim report from the findings of the committee that investigated the tragic aircraft accident. The committee was given 30 days to make its findings available, but that time has expired without any public update, prompting the right to information request by the Tolon MP. He acknowledges that although aspects of the probe may demand more time, the president must release an interim update to Ghanaians. And as Ghana rounds up on the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, a medical officer at the 37 hospital has spoken.
Breast cancer remains a leading cause of death among Ghanaian women. Medical professionals maintain that early detection offers the best chance of survival. The Ghana Health Service joined the global campaign to launch the Breast Cancer Awareness Month on October 1st, offering Ghana an opportunity to scale up the fight against the disease. More than 1,000 men and women from Latebi Okoshi and surrounding communities took part in the screening exercise, which was undertaken by the Afrifanom Foundation. A medical officer at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital and director at the Rural Health Foundation, Dr. Isaac Yeboah, who collaborated with Afrifanom on the exercise, said timely screening remains the strongest defense against breast cancer fatalities.
Most of the cases we see at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, they've sat at home with their condition for a very long time before presenting to our facilities. So this exercise allows us to screen women, allows us to detect people who may have not necessarily breast cancer alone, but different forms of breast diseases.
Director of the Afrifanom Foundation, Irabina Jankuma Afrifa, said the screening reflects the foundation's commitment to practical community health interventions.
So October, as we all know, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we didn't want this to just slip by not doing anything. So we decided to host a free screening right at our premises in Accra here for everybody passing by to come and have their breast checked and also have their general health screening.
With just 3 days to end the campaign, the Ghana Health Service is optimistic that significant progress has been made in the fight against breast cancer.
And that was a health personnel from the Kolebu Teaching Hospital there talking about the issue on breast cancer. And societal neglect of mental health issues is a pressing concern that affects millions of people worldwide and has drawn criticism from mental health professionals. According to the Bono East Regional Mental Health Coordinator, stigma has hindered stakeholders' efforts to promote mental health in the country.
Mental health, a state of well-being that enables people to cope with stresses of life, realize their abilities, learn well, work well, and contribute to their communities. Multiple individuals, social and structural factors may combine to protect or undermine mental health. Individual psychological and biological factors such as emotional skills and substance use can make people more vulnerable. According to data released by the World Health Organization in September 2025, more than 1 billion people worldwide, around 1 in 8 people, are living with mental health disorders, including conditions such as anxiety and depression. Out of the total number, approximately 13% of Ghana's population suffers from mental health disorder. The Bono East Regional Mental Health Coordinator, Abrefi Augustine, says every individual is at risk of mental health disorder, lamenting a significant neglect of the problem by society.
Everyone should take mental health into consideration. But the saddest part of it is totally mental health is neglected in the society or Ghana in which we find ourselves because of the stigma attached. Because of the stigma, we are not getting the investors, we are not getting the support from stakeholders or philanthropists in order to give a helping hand in promoting mental health in the society in which we find ourselves.
Globally, Approximately 1 in 7 adolescents aged 10 to 19 years lives with a mental disorder. The head of the Department of Gender in the Bono East region, Monica Onying, emphasized that children living in abusive environments are easily affected.
Some teachers observe that there are some children who come to class and they behave differently. Some of them are very quiet, very reserved. They seem to be afraid of something, and they seem to lose concentration. When you investigate, you realize some of these children go through some form of abuse at home, so it affects their it affects them academically. So
Stigmatizing has been a major barrier in the treatment of mental disorders, with estimates suggesting that over 98% of people with mental health conditions do not receive proper care. Abrefi Augustine encourages individuals to prioritize their well-being and seek treatment when needed. Beyond every visible distraction lies an invisible burden carried in the minds and hearts of survivors and responders alike. That burden can only be lifted when mental health is treated not as an afterthought, but as a cornerstone of survival, healing, and human dignity. Belinda Tete, TV3 News, Bono East Region.
You're watching the first bulletin of the day on TV3. Just get interactive with us. We're live on Facebook. It's TV3 Ghana. And now the Vice President has pledged government's commitment to give a befitting burial to former First Lady Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings to reflect her legacy and ideals. Professor Jenana Opokwajiman led a government delegation to commiserate with the Rawlings' family.
The Rawlings family meeting resumed on October 27 at the Ridge Residence, where the family welcomed a host of dignitaries, mourners and sympathizers. Notable among them was the Vice President, Professor Jenana Opokwajiman, together with the Chief of Staff, Ministers of Finance, Lands and Natural Resources, Presidential Envoy, and Deputy Chief of Staff.
Ni nyina nso yema bibia adwebro bibia nye boko na yentimi enja no kwan sadia efta yakase ebetena ne aka na asemo a ade besaye.
General Secretary of the NDC, Fifi Kwete, who led the party's delegation, touted Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings' achievement for women's welfare as unprecedented. The Council of State requested the family considers members in burial arrangement for the late former First Lady.
We are all collectively shocked, and I think the nation lost its breath for some time, and we are here today to, lend our little support and our sympathy so that they will see it's a national matter.
The Garmanche, Kentucky Teko Cho II, was present with his entourage to commiserate with the family, assuring them of his unwavering support towards the funeral. Nana Akufo-Addo's daughter and Member of Parliament for Koleklote, Dr. Janetta Rawlings, says the family is still processing the loss.
There's a lot people don't understand and don't know about her. But everyone's personal story will paint a picture of the woman she truly was. We are privileged by your presence here today. We are honored by the love that you have shown. And we want to say a big thank you.
The family is yet to finalize funeral arrangement for the former First Lady, and the date will be communicated to the general public accordingly. George Queen, TV3 News, Rich, Accra. Well, the family meeting continues at the Ridge Residence, and so if you want to send a book of condolence or even extend your condolences to the family, you are rightly permitted to do that. Another Chief Executive Officer of the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, Julius Nikwe Kote, has announced that the DVLA will introduce biometric international driver's licenses and vehicle permits beginning next year. This move is coming in the wake of rejections of Ghanaian international driver's license and vehicles permits by some countries due to failure to meet international standards.
We are also having a foreign policy with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where DVLA will be located in most of the embassies outside Ghana. If anyone here gives you a passport picture and tells you that get me driver's license. That license that will be produced for you is fake because we need your biometric details to be able to produce you with a driver's license. But they are not here. So most of the license they have outside there is not really correct. It's not correct. But we can't give our software out to foreign countries to victimize our own. So we deem it fit to go there with the help of Foreign Affairs to do the corrections for them. We were not able to meet ISO specifications when it comes to issuance of license, international license, and issuance of vehicle licenses, because it's just handwritten, which is not accepted by most countries. We procured machines, gotten the design to be accepted by ISO, so we can do proper international biometric page for our clients from 2026. The current number plate we have is not scannable. So anyone just brings a car, not pay duty, go out there to the streets, get the boys by the roadside to emboss a number plate for them. And we want to end that era. But the one we are going to introduce will not be having year of registration, which tells you that nobody can buy a car or nobody will wait till the next year before registration of a vehicle. So the one we are bringing now is scannable for security information. You wouldn't need DVLA to be in office before we give those security information out. A police officer will have access to that scannable machine. So in case of anything, they know who the right person is, who they are supposed to hold responsible.
So there was actually a banter between the CEO of DVLA and the chairman of the committee, Abina Sari. And so let's watch this. Okay, so we'll bring you that story in a subsequent bulletins. And that's how we end today's edition of the Morning News. For more news updates, just log on to our website. It's 3news.com. In a world where you can be anything, just be kind. It costs nothing to be kind. Good morning.
And you know the good thing is today we have a thought leadership. Beatrice, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Our thought leadership, what is it on?
Yes, we're doing plastic waste.
Okay.
So just filtering the future and ensuring that we're dealing with the plastic situation.
You know, I worked with the Jospon Group for 7.5 years.
You did.
And Dr. Joseph Senya Japon, good morning to you, Chairman. And, you know, they own the biggest waste management and recycling company in Ghana, Zoom Lion, as well as the other subsidiaries of the Jospon Group. And if you look at their presence, the things they've done in Guinea, Liberia, Angola, across over 20 African countries, you have to say that if you support your own, you do. And I have to say that this conversation is apt.
It's
Clearly
a big
apt.
one. It's a big one. And
Clearly apt.
there's wealth in waste. That's what people don't know.
And so because people will always litter.
Exactly. That's the focus of this thought leadership. How do we turn the bad thing into a good thing that prospers all of us? So, yes, and even as you're converting the bad one into wealth, you're also dealing with the environmental challenges that come with just disposing waste anyhow. So, yeah, that's what we're looking at.
Well, certainly. And so we're taking a look at it, but because the whole value chain of waste, especially for the informal sector alone, we have over 78 billion cedis said to be its annual contribution to Ghana's GDP. Well, we have individuals who tend to recycle waste down the value chain. And then, of course, we have the big companies like, if it's Asedu and some of those ones who tend to do some of the Waste 360 and others who complement the efforts of Zoom Lion as well as others to be able to. And if you look at the cost of equipment alone, it's never easy. It's never easy to do anything in Ghana, really. But the point is, if we want to be dedicated, then it means that recycling and trying to have more people study and then do research is the way to go.
So again, then it goes into the mentality bit. How do you look at waste in a different way that helps for you to keep the environment clean?
Fantastic.
And also to ensure that you're getting something great out of it.
Yeah, so, certainly. And for me, I always say that when it comes to waste, our employment generation problems could be resolved by that. If you look at the value chain, we generate the waste. There's also the aspect where even those who are involved in marketing, communication, branding, etc., could get work by way of stakeholder education they continuously would need to do. There will be environmentalists who will be experts, etc. And so you're going to create job along the value chain. Those in the technical areas could be doing the retrofitting, manufacturing, etc.
Just even look at those who are desilting the gutters alone. A lot of the time they desilt, put them on the shoulders of the road or the gutters, and they leave them there. There could be others who could come and take over those who take them to the next stage. So there's really a lot there.
Well, welcome to the show. Good morning to you, Chairman Godwin Tamaklu, the Rage Group Chief Executive, great man, alongside your wife Alice as well. And more importantly, let me say, Chairman Prosper, great man. Good morning to you. Justice Senyo Jamapes with the Supreme Court as well. And even the Chief Justice, Justice Paul Bafuboni. We know that we're waiting for your vetting, but don't worry, I know that you'll go through. Forget about Apenyo Maki, I'm sure you know. But everything will be fine. And then Dr. Bright Maudo and all those who tend to watch us, we're grateful. But we have Kasha, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And today we are, actually, okay, today is Tuesday, so we are almost hitting the middle of the week. But remember, it is always *439#. You follow the prompt and you choose your favorite platform, which is right here on TV3. Yes. Number 2. So don't forget to dial *439#. You follow the prompt, pick your favorite platform. It's right here on TV3, number 2. And you get to have 1,000 Ghana cedis. So we're giving 1,000 cedis each to 10 individuals. Roland, are you giving any bonus today?
Not me. I don't make the determination. So the more you stake, then it also means all of us get to share as well. So 200 Ghana cedis goes to those who tend to be there, not to get announced because they don't get to win 1,000 Ghana cedis, and so those are the extra benefit, the bonuses, as we say, and so it promises to be pretty nice as well. And so we'll be having a thought leadership at the venue, Labadi Beach Hotel?
Yes, Labadi
okay,
Beach
great.
Hotel,
So we'll be
yes.
there live right here
Yes.
also as well. But for this morning, what are we talking about?
There's a lot that we're talking about today, a lot in the system. One of the main things has to do with, I'm sure yesterday if you followed the news, there was again gun violence in Binduri. About 2 children died. And so we've had the Small Arms Commission really coming out to issue a statement. They did that yesterday, saying that there's going to be gun amnesty, as it were, so that if you bring your guns out of voluntarily, you're not going to be prosecuted. So that's something that I believe we can look at because of the conflict spreading across the country related to land and to chieftaincy. And so, yes, share your thoughts with us. How do we, it's not the first time anyway that we are going to put in such a policy, but this time they're hoping that it would really help to deal with the proliferation of small arms and light weapons in the system. So, yes, good morning, and you're welcome to this morning segment. Yes, so we're just telling you that the Small Arms Commission issued a statement yesterday asking people to voluntarily bring their arms. They will not be prosecuted. It's just going to be a window within which you have the opportunity to give your arms freely without persecution. And yes, it's coming from the National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons. And it says the government of Ghana and the Minister for the Interior is deeply concerned about the increasing proliferation of illicit firearms and the high incidence of gun-related violence in the country. To fight this growing canker, the Minister for the Interior is considering a number of policy actions proposed by the National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons, which includes the declaration of a gun amnesty in the coming days or weeks. For some time now, illicit firearms have crept quietly into our homes, markets, streets, social gatherings, and traditional celebrations. They have turned small quarrels into funerals, land disputes into wars, misunderstandings into gunfights, and traditional celebrations into mourning. These illicit firearms are gradually writing stories of fear, death, crime, sorrow, and regret in our societies. It is therefore time for our collective action to end these sad stories. Under the leadership of the Honorable Minister for the Interior and with support from the Ghana Police Service, the National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons, as well as the allied security agencies, the government of Ghana will soon declare a gun amnesty program for any person in possession of an unregistered or illicit firearm to surrender it without facing arrest, interrogation, or prosecution. No questions will be asked. No charges will be pressed during the period. Just freedom and peace offered to all. This will be a chance for every citizen in possession of an unregistered or illicit firearm to surrender it, walk free, and help make Ghana safer for all. This is not a witch hunt, neither is it focused on prosecution. It is simply about saving lives, preventing tragedy, and giving every Ghanaian the chance to choose peace over violence. We're therefore calling on all Ghanaians who have illicit firearms, whether hidden at home, buried on a farm, or kept, quote-unquote, just in case, to prepare now. Get ready to hand it in when the time comes. Each weapon surrendered will be one less instrument of fear, one less threat to our children's safety, and one more step toward a peaceful Ghana. When you surrender your gun, you are not giving up power. You are reclaiming peace. You are protecting lives, including your own. You are saying no to gun crime, no to gun violence, and yes to Ghana. Talk to your families, talk to your neighbors, and tell your friends that a gun amnesty is coming. Let's act together when the amnesty is finally declared. Let's show the world that Ghana chooses peace, freedom, unity, and hope over gun violence. Gun amnesty is coming, so get ready to surrender your firearm to secure your own future. And goes on to say, for further inquiries, you can call the Commission, and you can see the number displayed on your screen, 059-907-0944. Let me take that again, 059-907-0944. Signed by Adam Bona, Executive Secretary. So really very detailed statement coming there from the Commission on the need for people to submit their firearms without prosecution. Just give way to peace.
Oh, certainly. I think that's a good way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go to our first caller. Good morning to you, sir. Tell us your name, where you're calling us from. I hope you're well.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is calling from Bole.
Hi, Peter. Thank you very much.
Yes.
How is Bole today?
Yes. Bole is great. I think, my sister, we are not serious. We are not serious as a country. With this policy, we are expecting that the government agency to be disciplined first than the ordinary citizen. Why am I saying this? Since the late Defense Minister, Honorable Omanibuama, issued a statement about the missing guns, since his demise, up to date, did we hear someone discuss this before again? That is Ghana for you. If something happens today and they discuss it tomorrow, they will dump it and jump to the current issues. They should find those kind of ammunition first. That is a serious threat to this country. How can government agencies, guns, will be on someone's hands? The military is there, the police is there, the ICP is there. What are they saying about it? So they should rise up. We should stop hypocrisy and then build this country, my sister. Ghana is a beautiful country, and we don't want to build the country. How can a missing gun, you won't search for it and pursue it? Today you are talking of the civilians, they should do what they should do, what they should do. Violence is no good. Let's condemn violence. It's a bad thing. It will not help this country. It will bring the country down. But the government agency, they should discipline them first. They shouldn't let that, Project Gefi, please, they should try. Project Gefi, the First Minister, I beg you, they should try. They should try. But when you come to border, we have energetic guys, strong guys that can discipline, and when they are in the military, I think you will see that this is a disciplined guy or this is a strong guy. You understand? So they should try and roll our boys so that, they can also learn how to, so that they will prepare, they will protect this country for us. So we have also applied. Our leaders, they should try and enroll the boys. The boys are jobless sitting down. They are not doing anything, but they have also qualified to join the military, my sister. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you very much, Peter. I think Peter is already gone. Thank you so much for calling us from Bole. Yes.
Yeah, the clarion call is that if you're in possession of arms, they are giving you the opportunity that for you to be able to bring that arm, they are not going to prosecute you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why they call it an amnesty.
Yes.
And it's all for us to know that we're in this together. We want to be part of the process of restoring or ensuring this law and order and then public peace.
Indeed.
It's a very simple thing.
Yeah, it's a very simple thing. And it's going to be open for just a period. It's not going to be there forever. And I remember yesterday I spoke with a public relations officer for the commission, and the question was, okay, if people do not willingly give the guns, what are you going to do? And his answer was that, well, they're going to give them a period. If there is resistance, then the law will bite. So, but that's really not the focus. The focus is that you willingly submit your weapons and no questions asked, as you heard me read that statement and you saw it yourself displayed on the screen. Just so there will be peace in society. Let's go to another caller now. Good morning to you, sir. Tell us your name, where you're calling us from.
Good morning. This is Megina calling from Sunyani.
Hi, Megina.
The Sun City,
yes.
The cleanest city, the award-winning city.
Yes, sir.
That is Sunyani. I greet the leaders in Sunyani. But then that title is eroding because the people, previously when you enter the gutters of Sunyani, you can sit in and eat. But today is not like that. So the city authorities should sit up and do things right. Else, some of us, when we wake up and come out, it will not be simple. And also, I am also telling the local government minister, before the elections, he promised the good people of Sunyani, good people of Bono, that the library that has been abandoned for many years, decades, need to be looked at and built. Our resources cannot be put into waste like that. Honorable Minister, I know you are very serious about your work. Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim, I trust you. You will do it. So when you hear my voice, I'm telling you to do that. Coming to the guns that the ministry is calling
the Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons, yes.
Yes. My issue is, what is the difference between human beings and animals? Why should you, being and call yourself a human being, take a gun, look at your fellow human being and shoot at? Does it even really make sense? At the end of the day, these people who shoot, if the person is not going to church, going to mosques. If not mosques, going to the shrine. All these three religions that I have mentioned, which in our book have accepted to practice, say that we should not kill our fellow human beings. So what sense are you? Should the minister come out before to tell you not to kill your fellow human being? Most especially to my fellow Northerners. I am a Northerner. I am from Tatale Jabzugu. I am Basari by tribe. I don't understand why, as human beings, look at the nature of the environment our people are. The deficit of schools, lack of health facilities, lack of road, lack of potable water, and even sometimes some places they don't get better food to eat. And we are fighting over blood, a piece of blood. So should the minister come and tell you don't kill your fellow human being? Should the minister come and tell you fight for what will better your people's life? Women and children, sometimes it's like we don't think. We go and push our old women that they are witches. How unthinkable are we? It is time we tell the people. And again, let me tell the ministry too. They know why every day these people, when they display guns, don't we see them? They are the very people who, at the end of the day, go and fight over chieftaincy. So if you're a chief, you want to become a chief and lead people. Because you are not getting it, what our traditional leaders have said there, you want to turn the chieftaincy to politics. And if you don't get it, you are going to use the gun. What sense are you? What people are you going to lead? Let us be frank in this country and tell the people the right thing. If somebody is joking, tell him, go to Proverbs chapter 26, verse 5 to 6. Go and read it yourself. Proverbs 18:13. Whoever acts before asking the question, that person is a fool. Let us not be pleasing people and begging people. You know the traditional dealer who have been displaying guns. killing people. Accra there, you were there. Small arms, no. What have you done to them? Are they better than anybody in the constitution? We are all equal before the law. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Majina, calling us from Sunyai with two issues there, one on sanitation and, of course, his thoughts on guns and the amnesty being given, as you heard us talk about, by the Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons. There's quite a lengthy explanation there, but indirectly appealing to his people as well. There's no need for you to pick up guns and kill your fellow human being. Yes.
Well, certainly. Yeah. And I think that there was a point in time, I think myself and Matilda my colleague, she's no more here, so we went to Liberia. I think it was a time that they just gotten out of the first war, the second one, in the early 2000s. So around 2003-04 thereabout, and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was the president at the time. I think we also was contesting the first time as well. And the process of disarmament was still in place, being enforced by the United Nations in collaboration with a West African team, as well as the team from the African Union, etc. And you could feel the reluctance of those who had fought in the Liberian War, having arms and willing to give their arms for sometimes some monies that had been proposed by the United Nations. Which we've done before, right here in Ghana. Okay. Giving arms for money exchange. Yes, we've tried that before. So the process of disarmament in itself is a process of trying to convince and persuade people that the arm, which used to be or is a form of protection for you, can also be given for some form of a liberal environment, which also offers you some protection as well. So something has got to give. Yeah, it's really not worth it carrying arms and killing people. And this Liberia war that you talk about, John, we'll come to you very shortly, but I remember there was a documentary that was made on the Liberian war, and I never forgot the visuals I saw. Very terrible. People being killed on the streets, their arms being cut off. I mean, we don't have to get to that extent. And so with this opportunity opened, I think that it's great for people to think of the good and give out their arms rather than thinking that they're keeping it to protect themselves. Good morning to you, John. Thank you so much for joining us on the This Morning segment on New Day. Tell us where you're calling us from and your thoughts.
Thank you. Hello?
Hi, John. We can hear you. I hope you're well.
Good morning to you and your cherish.
Good morning.
These comments, it has been too long. We human beings have turned ourselves to be like animals. If not, why should I sit down and think of going in to use gun while the right route is there? For example, there's nothing without a formula. Everything has its formula to solve a problem. But politicians and the rich men have turned themselves to be extremists, stigmas to the poor man, and the poor man children have turned to themselves to be disturbing the whole nation, which is not the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John, for calling in and sharing your thoughts with us as well. I think we have the Executive Secretary of the Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons, Dr. Adam Bona, via video call with us. Good morning to you, Doc. If you can hear us, thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning to your viewers. Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Doc, we read your statement, quite detailed, asking people to voluntarily submit their arms. They will not be questioned. They will not be prosecuted. But in the statement, you said that in the coming days and weeks, when specifically should we expect this amnesty to take effect?
Well, yes, thank you very much. It's likely to be on the 11th of... there has been another statement by the Honorable Minister of the Interior. So it's likely to be on the statement. It's going to be on the 11th of November.
11th of November, and it's going to be in force until when? Because we understand it's just a period.
is going to be enforced until the 31st of December, 2025.
And of course, the statement came out yesterday. We've spoken about it since then. Has there been any immediate response coming in yet that shows that indeed people are willingly or wanting to give out their arms to the commission and perhaps the police stations where they find themselves?
Yes, correct. It's generated a lot of discussions, on social media, in the conventional media, and amongst, when you go on WhatsApp and other groups, and you measure the comments by people, it looks like almost everybody knows someone who has a weapon. But that almost everyone is not sure whether that weapon is licensed or is not licensed. And so that is the problem, because then it's become very difficult to know who owns a weapon legitimately and who probably doesn't own a weapon legitimately. Between myself and you should be able to tell that this person holding this weapon probably can buy that weapon and is fit enough to own that weapon. There are some people you see during festivals, you see during celebrations, you see during, call them gun-related matters, and you can tell that this person, the weapon he's holding, is not a legitimate weapon. And there has to be a distinction between civilian, the civilian type of weapons and the non-civilian type of weapons. So you have the assault rifles, semi-automatic weapons. These are not weapons that should be licensed, that the state would never license for you. These are weapons that are used mainly by the state. So the AK series, you have the AK-47, the 48, 49, it goes on and on and on. You have the G series, and we have the M series of weapons. These are some of the commonly used weapons in this area by some people, hoodlums and bandits, who are not supposed to be having them, let alone brandish them and use them. And we have a good number of galamseyers who are also holding on to pump-action guns and locally manufactured weapons, who are not supposed to be holding them because they have not gone through the process of acquiring them. And they use them to foment trouble, and it becomes difficult sometimes to detect or to be able to know who has that weapon. So this amnesty is coming in to help take stock and let people surrender their weapons.
Doc, aside from the conflicts that we've seen where people have used guns and killed people, even yesterday we heard a story from Binduri where 2 children were shot dead. Are you able to paint a picture for us how bad the situation is? The reason you've opened this window of 11th of November to the end of December to kind of retrieve the weapons that are in wrong hands?
It's a very bad, call it, situation that the current administration has inherited. It is a situation that I dare tell you that probably existed long before today. And you can talk about it. 9 out of 10 violent crimes or violent conflicts we see in this country are by the use of firearms. Now, if you ask the NIMOS, the Anti-Galamsey Task Force, they will tell you that most of the operations they undertake, they themselves would have to be well armed, because most of the Galamseyers are so armed. And so it tells you that the situation has been that bad, so that just a little disagreement that probably man to man would have just exchanged some blows or just talk about it and go home and sleep. One will pull a weapon, and so the other feels that I should also have a weapon. You go to our communities where, little chieftaincy disputes, little family disputes, then people pull weapons because they have weapons. And so weapons have become the ideal form of, fighting disputes in our community, which shouldn't be, which has never been. And so it is something that needs to be dealt with. It's become so strange. You can talk about Gwinyiri, you can this Binduri one you spoke about. What has little children got to do with adults who are disputing, who are disagreeing, or adults who want to get themselves involved in, criminality? But these little children, innocent little children, have been shot dead. I think the MP's home was burnt. And maybe if he was there, he could have also been assaulted. It's because these bandits, these criminals who are parading on our street corners and communities, we know them. They have firearms. And so the little misunderstanding, they use it on you. And it's not just limited to one community. You talk about the Babu Ulomos, the high priest of the Dangbe area. He was outdooring a queen mother also, and openly, unfortunately, they shot one of the queen mothers. Just in the open. A military officer was shot over land somewhere last year or so in the Kaswa area. And this a military officer, I think he was in uniform, who had gone to inspect his land dispute. They went to a police station, and this local chief around the area is now in police custody, pulled his gun and shot and killed him. He's wasted this young military officer's life. And very likely, if the state is able to prosecute him and is successful, his life will also be wasted, because now the death penalty is not part of our criminal code. But you can guarantee that he's going to receive life sentence if the state is successful with prosecuting him. And so we have a lot of young people and a lot of people who don't understand the harmful effect of owning a firearm. And so I will tell you that what happened in Ashanti or Tree and a couple of schools where, when I was in secondary school, decades ago, we didn't even go to school apart from our cutlery. We didn't even go to school with knives. Kitchen knives. No. Now, some of these children take weapons to school. Why? Because social media has made it possible for them to see what is happening in other places, and they want to show. They want to show their weapons and take a snap, whatever, and share it with their friends. And so you joke and they shoot it. They shoot at you. Now, when students are demonstrating about food in their secondary schools, those days, instead of, the school I attended, maybe you throw kinky, ball of kinky when you are not happy with it. Now they take weapons and sometimes they shoot at their teachers and call them those instructors in these secondary schools, which is very bad. And so for me, the gun amnesty is coming to ensure that we attempt to sanitize the environment, sanitize our communities. And it's a type of, call it amnesty, that we've not seen since independence. It's well planned. We've been planning this for the last 4 months. Fortunately, through the Honorable Minister of the Interior, Cabinet gave approval for the amnesty. And so it's now for the Interior Minister to do the formal, the legal, that becomes legal, the legal declaration. And so once that is done and the date is set, let's say if he says on the 15th, he does the declaration on the 11th and says it is effective on the 15th or immediately. I'm not too sure, but I would leave that to him.
That's fine. But
it comes from there.
Doc, you made some interesting points about individuals who are in possession of firearms illegally. You talked about bandits. You talked about illegal minors as well. These are individuals that you do not expect would easily give up their arms. They are protecting their concessions, and the bandits also for the wrong things, armed robbery and stuff. How are you going to ensure that you're still able to retrieve weapons from these individuals?
The good thing is that there is a window of opportunity for these individuals or for those who know them to let the agencies, including ourselves, the Small Arms Commission, know that A.B. Akwesi Mensah has a weapon, and so we are expecting that he will surrender the weapon during that window, the that the state is going to open for, voluntary surrender without any prosecution or without any victimization. And so during that period, a lot of data is going to be collected. And you should know that we have a lot of intelligence. You know, one of the things my commission do is also picking intelligence and knowing communities that are badly affected when it comes to gun violence. You know, the police is already doing a lot of work in this area. Other security agents, the national security, the NIB are all working. And so we are working, collaboratively to ensure that these things are done and done well. So during that period, those who decide not to surrender, it means we of course, we are not expecting 100% surrender, because like you mentioned, those who need them to aid them to do their own nefarious activities might not want to. But the good thing is that if you are a neighbor, you would then know that, okay, a window of opportunity was open. We're expecting this person to surrender his weapon. It means that people will share that information with us, and chances are that you would be picked up, the weapon seized from you, and now you would go to jail.
Now you go
once you are caught with a weapon, once you are caught with a weapon, after the amnesty period, once you are caught with a weapon that you are not supposed to, because mind you, licenses that are issued to firearm bearers automatically terminates at the end of each year 31st. And so automatically, even if you registered it on the 30th of December, on the 31st of December, automatically it is presumed that the weapon is, the years, and then you must renew. So after 31st, every weapon that is in civilian custody, any civilian's custody, is presumed to not have been registered.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. Forgive me, Doc. I'm glad you talked about the coordinated nature of this. If you can answer this question, kind of a two-question in one, how are you going to ensure transparency? And for those who are watching you, where do they submit their weapons? At the district level, police station, if you can educate us on that.
Okay, so I think that will come after the declaration. But just like I told you, it's so elaborate. All the districts, regional, everyone is involved, including our traditional authorities. Everyone is involved. And so there is going to be so transparent. We are not going to, there will be people, you see, the idea of this is we, at the commission, we receive calls every now and then. Someone says, maybe my father died, unfortunately, and I checked in his room and I've seen 2-3 weapons. I don't have anything to do with those weapons, but I'm afraid to surrender these weapons to, why do I even send the weapons? I don't want anyone to say the weapons belong to me. I don't own them. And I don't know if my late dad actually had a license to own these weapons. So you go to a lot of homes and there are weapons that are owned by first generation owners, second generation owners, and they are tucked in there. And so sometimes when these places are being cleared, the weapons are taken off and we don't know where they go to. So all these persons will now have that window of opportunity to come in and call. When you call, the weapons will be picked up during the time you are going to be issued. There will be a lot of things have been put in place to ensure that there will be almost 99 to 100% certainty when you talk about transparency. And once these weapons are surrounded, you know that these weapons are not weapons that should be within our society. And like I said earlier on, we've done a couple of amnesties in this country. But this amnesty, the way it's been planned, is so elaborate. I mean, I have been in the security sector for decades now. I can actually tell you that, what do you call that? It's so elaborate. We haven't seen that since independence. Because then everybody is involved. Everyone who must be involved is involved. So I need to let you know that there is certainty of transparency. Obviously, like I said, everyone is on board. And in fact, even you, the media, we are going to be having some conversations with some of your editors and the rest to also be able to follow what is going on so that they can report adequately. It's all part of the plan.
Doc, if you could give us your final word and perhaps what you would tell young people, because I heard you mention a lot of young people even in your submissions.
Yeah, my final words would be, we should all be ready. The amnesty is coming from the 11th. Minister will do a declaration. Honorable Minister will do a declaration. The modalities will be set out. Please, if you know someone who has a weapon somewhere, you can begin to call us. Begin to call us to give us information. Your information would not be shared with anybody. Share the information with us. Once you give us information, believe you me, we would go in at the right time to pick it, or we can go in now to pick the weapons. And so just let us know. And we don't need guns in this country. Ghana doesn't need guns. We don't need guns. Guns have destroyed countries. And so as a country, what we are doing as part of the security agencies, the Small Arms Commission, what we are doing is to help to ensure that the idea of I must own a gun, is taken away from our mentality. So young people who are watching me, if your dad has a weapon, your cousin has a weapon, you don't know whether it's registered or not registered, pick up a phone. Let us know. Send us a message. Let us know. We will check to make sure that whether it's between now and the 11th, whether it's registered or not. So don't wait even for the 11th to give us information. We've been doing this for some time, but the 11th is that window where people will not be prosecuted. But from now on, before the 11th, people should call freely and give us information, please.
Doc, thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you, too.
And you just watched right there the Executive Secretary of the Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons, and his strong assurance there to people who know people who own guns, whether or not they are registered. So there you have it. Ensure you're calling in and helping with the process to make our society safer.
Well, so Richard Kumador is also a security expert, has worked within the structures of national security. And the first question I then will pose to you, following that exciting but also instructive questioning by Beatrice Edu, will be, you take a look at what is done, DDR, post-conflict, where we have disarmament, then we have you have effort to also do some reintegration within that process. And in the middle, we have demobilization. You will find that the weapons are brought, and sometimes for a fee or for a package or for a certain structure of programming. In our country, we have a mixed bag. Individuals with weapons who are not supposed to have them for either their own protection or for maybe for fanciful purposes. And then the last one will be for conflict purposes. So how should we structure this one?
I think the whole idea is to pick up guns from illegitimate people. Then number two is to have guns registered so that we know that these are the number of guns registered by this number of people and for these purposes within the communities. Then the last one, so that we'll be able to trace which gun has been used where and for what purpose. And so this is what the amnesty is out there to cure. If the modalities are performing in such a manner that we can achieve these three objectives, I think that would be good to go.
Okay, so if we have to achieve that, what structure should we be using? I mean, issuing a statement is nice, but there has to be some engagement, right?
Definitely, that is what I think public education is key. Public education is what creates the awareness, and it's what makes people aware what we are doing and where they must surrender their guns. For people who have legitimate arms, who might have overrun their registration process or renewal process, if you cast your mind back when the IGP and the minister appeared before the Public Accounts Committee, the minister indicated and emphasized the point that from next year, or in a very short time, registration of arms in this country and renewal purposes is going to be electronic, so that people far and near will be encouraged to register their guns. One of the reasons why people do not also register their guns or renew is that the renewal process and the registration process is a little bit worrisome, and that takes people away. But then you also have one category of people whose legitimate business is to import arms into this country. I think that as part of the amnesty, they will need some level of enhanced due diligence regards to the job they do in the number of guns they bring to this country, where the guns are kept, who is accessible to these guns, and who purchased these guns, and whether the guns should even be registered before they are sold, or once people purchase the guns from them and they are sold, they will have some level of reconciliation so they can liaise with the police in that regard. That can also help in dealing with the excesses of arms in the hands of illegitimate people in this country.
But it will mean that if we have to use the structures, public education one, within the communities where we've identified, what should we be using? Who are the key stakeholders we should be using to do those interpersonal engagement with groups, etc., that we think would have the weapons?
If you look at the way Ghana is structured, people own certain category of arms for various reasons. I don't know whether in the modalities that will be coming up, the classifications will be spelled out properly so that people will know which arms to keep and which ones they are not supposed to keep. There are people in this country who manufacture arms, not only those who import arms in this country, they manufacture their arms. I don't know whether in the modalities it's going to be spelled out so that they know which arms to manufacture and when there are excesses, what will happen. In the communities, such as where there are conflicts, or even the whole country, we might want to use the opinion leaders, the local government people, the MPs. It should be part of their public education platforms. The district assembly chiefs, the municipals, it should be part of it. But one of the things Bonan said, Dr. Bonan said, that we need to stress it is that where should people send their arms and what should be the modality, who is taking information, and how transparent that is going to be. If people can really see transparency, I think people will be encouraged to surrender their arms, particularly those that do not belong to them, and it has been passed on to them, and they have no reason for keeping them at home.
Well, that said, it also means that broadly we have to have a program of action. Advisedly, per your experience, what should be that program of action?
I overheard Dr. Bonan, the chief executive of the small arms, and it's going to be from 11th or 15th of November to end of December. We will need to run with the program outline and see how it's going to unfold. Probably depends on the outcome. If they think they can extend it to next year March, to give enough time for people to really surrender their arms, that will help. I would have loved the public education would have started about a month and engage the media and engage all stakeholders, those who have the ability to speak on these issues, engage them in a month's time before the modalities are out so that you can be sure that people really understood the message and they know exactly what to do. Having said that, if the modalities are out, we still have 1 month period. We still have 1 month period to get a job done. So within that month, whilst retrieval and recollections and registrations and all those things are taking place, we can still run the public education. But I can tell you, public education is key. Awareness creation is key. People might want to surrender, but if they don't know what to do and where to send their arms and which ones are supposed to send, and those who have legitimate reasons to own their arms, if their licenses have expired and they have not renewed, and that is seen to be something else, we will need to treat those ones separately. Other than that, we might be jamming up the space, and that can also create problem for us. So we will need to wait and see how it unfolds.
But after this, we need to do a mop-up, right? Because usually, if you look at what is done, the disarmament, the demobilization, and then reintegration post-conflict, we're talking about a conflict structure here. They tend to go back and do a mop-up, etc. Do you think that also needs to be part of the program of action, so to speak?
Definitely, yes. So I'm thinking that if they finish in December, they should extend it to March, so that by March, the police will be resourced or the military will be resourced, particularly within the conflict zones. We are talking about Boko, we are talking about Equanta South and North, and we are talking about Sola, Kabatuna, those places that we have seen that we nearly were split into communities of conflict, and they will need to mop up a little bit. Then we can also see what has happened and do the mopping exercises and see where the trends are coming from. And with a little bit of information, they should be able to say that we know there are a number of arms in this particular area. Do we go house to house, or do we allow people to bring their arms voluntarily? And I agree that it has to be extended to probably about March or so.
All right. We'll see how that goes with all the conversations that we're having this morning on this very subject. It is also critical for all of us to know that for things to be done, then it means that the right structures will have to be followed. The current statistics, Richard Kumado, is that for those who tend to register guns the first time, they don't come back for, is it the annual regularization or the periodic regularization? Okay. So what should the Small Arms Commission be doing, advisedly?
You see, there's even an issue about those who own arms in this country, the nature of background checks that has been performed on them. We will need to look at it again.
Okay.
Then the key role of the police is very critical when it comes to gun violence and the use of illegitimate arms by unapproved persons. It's very critical in all this. Then you are also going to talk about the enhanced due diligence for weapon manufacturers and for those who import weapons into this country. Because we are talking about taking the guns from the people. Where did they get the guns from? You will be surprised to know that some of these arms were brought into the country legitimately by people whose business is to import arms into this country. How those guns find themselves into the hands of people who have not registered their weapons is another matter they have to deal with. Then, of course, we have the structure where for those who have guns who have registered and they fail to re-register, we have the database, and that wouldn't be a problem for the Ghana Police Service. We will need to improve the process of re-registration, just like the Minister of Interior has spoken about. And I think once that is done, people will be encouraged to register their guns. Probably when it is a month for your registration validity to expire, a message could come on your phone that you have 1 month more to register your gun, or to re-register it, or to renew the license. And with the nature of telecommunication and the prepaid system we have these days, people will be willing to register and re-register their guns if they can have those levels of communication from the registration authorities.
Well, it looks very instructive, especially expansive as well, the things that need to be done. The desire to own guns is also because people need it for protection, right? And so if people want to go through the process, what's your best caution?
Okay, so there are two levels. There are individuals who want to own guns. Background checks will have to be performed. And once you don't have a negative background checks, or the police are convinced that you need to own a gun, they may give you the gun. Well, today, we have a country where corporate institutions, particularly within the mining area, they are either using military officers for their asset protection duties, or they are engaging in security companies that have arms. Either these arms are registered in the name of the security companies, or they are registered in the name of individuals, and they use these arms for asset protection purposes for these mining companies. It's an area the police and the BNI, the Minister of Interior, together with the small arms, will need to look at and create a modality for them, because those guys who want to hold on to their guns and they wouldn't give out on a silver platter. Then you also have other ancillary groups of people who also want to own guns for hunting purposes or for whatever purposes. Then you're also talking about the traditional authorities who want to have some level of guns in their armory. They will need to segregate it. They will need to create a segmentation and make sure they have a control mechanism where regulation and compliance will have to be achieved. Other than that, if you box it up, safety and security compliance will not be achieved, and you are likely to have some level of difficulties in retrieving the actual guns. You will want it out of the hands of the illegitimate people and people who do not have approval.
All right. Thank you very much, Richard Kumado, security analyst as well as expert, giving us the latest on all the things that need to be done. And I tell you that a number of you as well. So seem to be contributing to the discussion. So I'll just quickly go through. I have this one from Sherry Giovanni. Sherry Giovanni is a regular, but in the meantime, Alhaji Jibril of National Security, good morning to you, as well as Edmond Combat of the Tema Oil Refinery. And Sherry Giovanni says, in as much as this is a good call, I'm pessimistic about the cooperation by those who have these firearms in their possession. I think we have to deploy our intelligence agencies to ensure those who might be hesitant to comply with this amnesty comply. I'm sad for our compatriots in Garu. Please tell Mejina that Ho is the cleanest city in Ghana. No two ways about that. Good morning to Mr. Wise, the Volta Senior High School. That's coming from Sherry Giovanni. And then also Sheikh Abubakar Ali Napar is president founder as well as executive director for the Light Foundation, and said that what is needed is education, education, education. He says we really need peace to develop as a country, and citizens need constant education on peace issues across the country. The 4 regions and their leaders, especially up north, must also take charge to support government on educating why peace is an important component of development. Light Foundation president, founder, executive secretary as well, Sheikh Abubakar Ali Napar. Good morning to you, Sheikh. Been a while. And Osei Boateng says that I once saw a big man with a double-barrel gun in his car. There was a commotion at a traffic light intersection. He got so angry, he removed his double-barrel gun. And you could have imagined if something had happened, his anger had taken a better part of him, he could have shot somebody. That is why I don't want to own a gun. Well, that's a choice you also have to make. And it's also important, all of us. And I have this one from Nasser Ejin. And Nasser Ejin is president, Central University Law School, SRC, and says that it's an interesting topic that you're discussing. Guns would have to be discussed within the ethics of the law. And as president of the Central University Law School, I have to say that the legal regime need to take cognizance of the right of people who want to own arms. What needs to be done is to ensure that people own arms legitimately. For those who already have them in their possession, I think this amnesty goes right. Nasser Ejin, president of the Central University Law School, and also says, make this announcement for me. I'm having my first annual Law School Union Conference. Is featuring the Deputy Justice, Attorney General, Dr. Justice Tremsai. Oh, okay. All right. Wish you all the best. 7th of November, you say. Wish you all the best. Thank you for being a regular watcher, Nasser Ejin. Now, this one is coming from Newday Atukwe. He's a regular watcher as well. Says, I love your outfit. Now, the use of guns during festivals should be banned. It is sad to hear deaths being reported just because people were enjoying themselves, and amid that enjoyment, people were careless enough for others to die. Newday Atukwe. And those comments also keep coming in. We also have this one from Prince Nani Oyork, who says that the incidence of gun violence in Ghana is sometimes surprising, but it's not only peculiar to Ghana. What needs to be done is to educate people so that they also get to know what is right. And then Prince Henry Kofodia, who is contesting for the Grassack president for the All Nations University Grassack ANU chapter, says that gun violence should be discouraged, but the only way is to ensure that the guns are collected from individuals who don't need to be having guns at all. It's the reason why conflicts arrive in Ghana. You will find that shocking revelations are made by those who own guns, that they took the guns through the checkpoints after them being smuggled out of the Tema Harbor or our own entry point to their destinations. How do they get to those areas is the question for the goals. Prince Henry Kofodia says. Very interesting there. And so I have this one also from J. Boateng, who says that we have to deal with illicit arms. They are not good. And I think that the statement coming from the Small Arms Commission is the right way to go. And Elon also says that Johnson Kwabla Barabu, former principal of the Anglo Technical Institute, you're celebrating your birthday. You're 78 years today. Mr. Barabu, happy birthday to you. And then we also have the former president for the Ghana Journalists Association, Roland Alfomoni, celebrating the birthday as well. Mr. Alfomoni, Roland Alfomoni, happy birthday to you. But we also have to tell you, you have to up your day the Milky Way with the rich, smooth taste of peck milk shortcake, and they all come in different varieties with pure delight, and you can find them. We have the choco variety, the butter, the coconut flavor as well. Everything you need in there is right there when it comes to the peck cookies and confectionery or biscuits. You can get all that. We have Kasha goes with Shoko star 439 hash. Remember, we'll take you to the Labadi Beach Hotel. We're having some great conversation for our thought leadership. Make sure you stick and stay right here. It's on waste management. We'll be right back.
In the beginning, life feels heavy. But then, hope arrives. Star 446 hash saves you in the Dewa Chop Money draw at 10 a.m.
Congratulations!
Give your dream a chance.
Lightening our ears and giving us some great vibes and great music and lyrics as well. And you can get that across YouTube, his channel. But talking about YouTube, social media, we're also available. TV3 Ghana, go search for us. And we'll be taking you live to the Labade Beach Hotel. It's where we're having a thought leadership on waste management. And we have some great people to help us do this conversation this morning, including the EPA boss, the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Joe Jackson also will be there, as well as other discussants and stakeholders as part of the panelists and the audience to bring home the conversation about what needs to be done within the value chain of waste management and some of the best things and practices that could be adopted as a country, so to speak. And well, because of that, we'll be ending the segment usually than we would, and so take you live to that great venue and have this great discussion. But in the meantime, many of you celebrate your birthday. Roland Arthur Money, a former president for the Ghana Journalists Association, celebrate your birthday. Happy birthday to you as well. And it's coming from me, the rest of the family, and we're wishing you all the best as well. And then we have others as well. And let me say, Cantona Nabuo, Cantona Nabuo. Good morning to you. But look, let's do some birthdays for those who are celebrating their birthday. I know Elo Mashagba, for example, is saying Mr. Barabu is celebrating their birthday. 78 years, you're marking your birthday. But hunger can strike anytime, and so the Royal King Cracker is always on standby for you. Now, when you need something enjoyable to munch on, make sure that it is the Royal King Cracker, because it brings the crunchiness and the buttery taste for you because it's well flavored. It also gets to fit right into your morning and noon or evening or night as well. Now, Royal King Cracker, choke your hunger. Just grab one and enjoy. Hunger fits show you anytime. And so make sure you go to the nearest confectionery store near you, or what we call provision store, or any of the malls. You get to find Royal King Cracker, as well as the varieties that they have. And you'll be in some good stead and have some good snacks for yourself as well. Those who are celebrating their birthday, quickly, we'll put that on the screen for you. And first will have to be Johnson Kwabla Barabu. It's coming from Elo Mashabo and the rest of the family. You're 78 years today. It's not easy. No mean feat to be 78. And so we thank God and His grace for giving you 78. Mr. Johnson Obla Barabu. Helena Ofori from Constancia Ofosumensa. Happy birthday to you. Do enjoy your day. And then also we have Hetty Labik of Coastal Estate, Lashibi, your celebration birthday. It's from your entire family, Theresa and Bernice. They say happy birthday to you. Selena Dakwa Yurinchi from Mrs. Lydia Poku. God bless you so much. Also, you're the greatest blessing and inspiration, we're told, from Angel. Happy birthday to you. No name yet, but your picture is all the same, very beautiful. And then also, Hassana and Fusena Idrisu Bengal from your entire family. Wishing you all the best. Georgino Fori from the entire family. God graciously bless you. Happy birthday to you. Mamaga Abui Sena Hogber, the second from your entire family. Happy birthday to you. Emmanuel Kwabna Jemfi from Reverend Early. Happy birthday to you, great man. And then also you're celebrating your birthday. Albert Avoga from Gloria Humana, age gracefully, she says. Eunice Ofebia, you're celebrating your birthday from your daughter, Eunice. Happy birthday to you. Rebecca Tekote, God bless you so much. Do enjoy your day. It's your special day. Etonam Aja, you're celebrating your birthday from Elikem and Ablandi. They're wishing you all the best for the day. Happy birthday to you, Etonam. Mauli Gakbe, CEO of Cop Pictures in Accra, Solomon Anya, bless us. Happy birthday to you. I love this pose. Beautiful twins, Mausi Jennifer and Mausi Jeanette at Hopware from Erickson and McCaffrey. Happy birthday to you. The twins, very beautiful. Or are they not? Yeah, they are. Eric Asibe, MC for Quadaso. Ashanti region, Kumasi, from all the assembly staff. Happy birthday to you, MC. Aseye Oliver J from Salem. Happy birthday to you. Which post be this? Charlie, go back. What did they do for Inchinta? The next one. Linda Anan from your brother, Lieutenant Benin. Happy birthday to you, Linda. Sabina Havo, you celebrate your birthday from Belinda and Mark. Happy birthday to you. And then also Nana Edu Mensa Sari from your niece. Happy birthday to you, Nana Edu Mensa Sari. Mercy Equia Obeng, YPG member at Ramsia Congregation, Sakaman District. Happy birthday to you. Andrew Osafotin crying from your wife and children. Happy birthday to you. And then also gift to Okaile Nikwe. Happy birthday. Nathaniel Nikwe and the family wishing you all the best. Jaden Sato Bojo from your mom. Why not that? Women. Happy birthday to you, Seto. Priscilla, happy birthday to you from Leslie. Happy birthday. I love this pose. Adiaseya Abigail from your family. Happy birthday to you, Aseye. And then Puku. So you're celebrating your birthday, Dr. Tony Obing from the management staff at PHDC. Wishing you all the best for the day as well. And all right. If you want to look smart and fashionable, make sure you visit any Woodin boutique nationwide today. Now, Woodin is offering an amazing collection of authentic African fabrics, all ready to wear, all coming in beautiful designs and colors for both men and women. And make sure that with Woodin, you get to know that you get to be creative and versatile with your designs. You also get to be confident and show off how truly African you are when you're wearing Woodin. So go to a Woodin boutique near you today and get to choose from their variety of trendy products, all meant to complement your style. You can also go search for them on social media. We're asking you to go search for Woodin Fashion, whether it's on Instagram, it's on TikTok, it's on, Facebook, etc. Woodin Fashion. Woodin, le créateur, as always. All right. And for all those who want to celebrate your birthday, we wish you all the best for the day. And then, are you looking for a university that also will prepare your child for the future? Then Academic City University is the best choice for you. At Academic City University, you just don't get to be taught. You also get to be nurtured as a creator, innovator, and leader who also gets to shape tomorrow as well. So Academic City University is offering undergrad programs in engineering, computational sciences, business and communication arts degrees, and then also their BSc in artificial intelligence and robotics engineering all come in handy. Now, if only you want to make the right choice, you're in sub-Saharan Africa, elsewhere in the subcontinent, and you were looking for a world-class facility, industry experience faculty, students also want to boot, not just to do anything but learn the latest technology and also get to be creative, then your choice is Academic City University. Now, for working professionals and young graduates, they also have good programming. They also have you covered as well. And so they have their MSc programs in cybersecurity and data analytics, as well as their professional certificate programs. And so at Academic City University, their programs are tailor-made, practical, relevant, and future focused. Make sure you call them on the following lines. They have 026-269-3870, or you can also visit their website. And this is their website, act.edu.gh. Admissions currently are open, and make sure that you go look out for them on social media, Academic City University. And so get the latest for them as well. All right. There's also a world-class university right here in Ghana. It's called the Rosebank International University. It's a strong South African-based university and the brand of the AdVitech Group, Africa's largest private education provider with 146 schools across 5 African countries and over 100,000 learners, and partly owned by the World Bank through the IFC. And so Rosebank International University is fully accredited by the South African Qualifications Authority, the British Accreditation Council, GTech right here in Ghana, City Guilds UK, and Capsicum Culinary studio. At Rosebank International University, they offer a Doctor of Business Administration, that's a DBA, MBA as well, Master of Science and Master of Philosophy degrees, all in digital marketing, Bachelor of Supply Chain Management, targeting professionals in freight forwarding, customs, among many others. They also offer hospitality courses as well for those who want to be good in the culinary arts, that's cooking, etc., all available at the diploma level, at the undergrad level, and postgraduate levels. Their ICT programming has the BSc Information Technology in Business Systems and IT Computer Application Development, all carefully designed to equip you with the skills and qualifications needed for a successful global career. Now, Rosebank University's mission is simple. Inspiring excellence. Admissions are now open for the January cohort for January 2026. This is what you need to do. Make sure you visit their modern campuses at Airport Commercial or Pebia House, Accra, or you can also go online. Go apply online. Go search for them across the internet and then the web. So www.riuc.edu.gh. Rosebank University, building global citizens. It's where we have to go for a break. When we come back, we'll be gearing up for that big summit coming up. It's our thought leadership on waste management. It will be live from the Labadi Beach Hotel, and we'll be telling you all about that. But also, we have to celebrate this Christmas holidays just up the corner like never before. So book 2 nights and get the 3rd night for free. I'm going. With all the meals inclusive, starting from just 4,500 Ghana cedis if you're a couple, man, woman, And the package is also offering guests free welcome drinks, access to all in-house facilities. And their in-house facilities include swimming pools, gymnasiums, cinemas, where you also get to enjoy your movies with popcorn. They have board games, snookers. They have live band all available, brass band on board, DJ performances and DJ nights. And then you also get to enjoy the free airport pickup from Takrady when you arrive for the Maha Beach weekend. And so remember, the fun activities will include a tour of the Maha Beach beautiful facility with a golf cart. They also have a splash playground, just in case you have kids along. You can also have that playground all available for them. Then they have in-house Uncles as well carnival, and then they also have sip and paint as part of the sight and sound. They also have bicycle rides, boat rides to the Maha village, the jet skis all available, the banana boats, the party bus rides, and then they have the nightclub bonfire nights as well, all coming as part of their variety of programming to make sure that when you come in for the weekend, you also get to stay for a worthwhile. And so as you're staying, you can also have a trip to the community or the town on Stilt in Zulezu, and then you get to visit Fort Apollonia, the Ankasa Forest, the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Home at Nkrofo, and then you also get to be excited throughout the stay. Remember, early bird discounts are available, so book and pay before the 31st of October and enjoy the discount, going up to 20% extra discount. And then before the 31st of November, you enjoy 10% extra discount. The palm trees, plus good vibes, etc. make it a worthwhile. So make sure you call for your reservations. And for Maha Beach, you have to go to their website. You can also contact them on their landline as well. And they have the line 030-397-773. Or you can also get onto their website, get to book as well. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.